So, Haley, I'm very excited to have you joining me today and just sharing a little bit about your journey with building your business. I think it's nice for other entrepreneurs to get a little peek at maybe not just the first, 6 months of building a business, but what it looks like, a year, 2 years, 3 years out of, and just kind of like the journey that someone goes through in the process. And do you know, actually, just saying that, I'm curious, like, how long ago it was that you got started and we were working together? Do you know when that was?
I feel like it was 2020, like the beginning of, was it?
Was
Or
it?
2019?
Oh my
Yeah,
God, that's even further than I was thinking it was.
around that time. I can't quite remember. I'm trying to think when COVID was, but yeah,
Yeah.
around then.
Yeah, COVID, I mean, it was starting around 2020, like March 2020, I think is kind of when it was getting started. So, yeah,
Yeah.
you remember in that timeline. But so it's been a little bit. So, like at least 3, 4 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say.
Okay. Okay, awesome. Do you want to start by just telling us a little bit about your business, what it is you do, like as far as where you're at right now with your business and what you're doing?
Yeah, so right now I'm a holistic psychotherapist, and I support women, highly sensitive women and sensitive women, with various mental health difficulties, specifically anxiety, overwhelm, burnout, people pleasing. I think there are specific challenges that sensitive women tend to have as a result of their sensitivity. And so, included in that is also perhaps problems with using food or alcohol to kind of help life feel a little bit less overwhelming. Um, and as a highly sensitive woman myself, it felt like uh, it made sense to me to focus on this area because I know it very well. Um, and my approach, like I said, it's holistic. So I take a very mind, body, spirit, environment perspective when I'm helping people. So it involves talking therapy, but also lots of breath work, mindfulness, and meditation, things associated with nervous system regulation and things like that. And so I currently see people face to face in the local area as well as online via Zoom. So it's a nice mix.
Awesome.
Um, yeah, which I'm really enjoying at the moment. So yeah,
Yeah.
business is thriving, things are going really well, and I'm loving it.
I love that. And do you want to share like a little bit about your journey as far as what brought you to there? Because I know when we
Mhm.
first were working together, like you were doing more of like coaching, and then what kind of tell me like a
Mm,
little bit about that transition and journey.
yeah. So originally I was, as you know, working as a research psychologist. Well, before that I was a musician and then I was a research
Okay.
psychologist. Um, and that didn't feel right. Being an academic didn't feel right for me. And I, whilst struggling and being an academic, I was struggling with alcohol. So I quit drinking and that was life changing for me. And then I thought I need to do something different. So then I trained as a coach, a sobriety coach, and that was then when I found you and started working with you. So I was working as a sobriety coach, supporting people with alcohol use disorder. And that was going really well, but there was part of me that was still thinking, I feel like I can help people on a deeper level.
Yeah.
Alcohol use disorder is a symptom of something much deeper and much greater, and there's a hell of a lot more going on. And for me, working as a recovery coach was amazing, but I wanted to do more. So then I thought I'm going to retrain and or add to my training. and work as a psychotherapist and work down that route. I also had therapy myself around that time as well, which was completely transformative. Um, it changed my life in ways that I didn't even think I needed it that much. I
Yeah.
mean, but it was, yeah, it, so then having therapy just solidified that purpose. I was like, this feels like it's going to be my purpose. And so yeah, so and I definitely feel that now that I'm working as a psychotherapist, I can still help the same people as before who are struggling with their drinking, but I can also support so many more people in a more comprehensive way and maybe offer more long-lasting solutions to their problems. So yeah, that's how I've arrived at where I am now.
I love that. I always love the journey. It's so interesting.
Yeah,
Right. Because you
and
never
it's
know. You just like have to like start doing things. And I feel like the
yeah,
path kind of unfolds in front of you as you start going.
absolutely. If I'd have I would have had no idea that this is where I was going to end up,
Yeah. Yeah.
considering my undergraduate degree was music. It's like feels so far away. It's like they feel like such different things. But actually now I can use music in my therapy practice.
Yeah.
I'd like to perhaps try out some sound healing and you know, it's then full circle. So I feel like everything still is important and has meaning. And yeah, the whole journey is still kind of encompassed in
Yeah.
this circle, so it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that you have the background in music. And it's actually like I feel like it's fairly common. I was just talking about this with someone the other day, and they're a writer and they're writing like fiction books, and then they're getting into like healing and stuff too. And actually my undergrad is in interior design. So
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's like
so yeah, I kept going back and
so
forth. Like
different.
I really like art, like I really like, healing stuff. And so yeah, it's kind of interesting
Yeah.
how things take you. But if you follow your interests and your passions, that kind of leads you
Yeah.
path.
And my parents always used to say that to me. They weren't like, oh, you should do a degree that's going to earn you money. They didn't say that. They said, follow your heart. They always said that.
I love
And so
that.
that was what I did every step. It just
Yeah,
slightly changed every now and then.
it's perfect.
Mm.
Um, so like along the journey of building your business and getting to where you are now, what do you feel like were kind of like the biggest challenges or biggest lessons that you've learned along the way?
Mm. Um, I think one of the biggest challenges is, and I'm sure this is really common, I think the main block or the main thing that got in my way was me. Like my lack of confidence.
Yeah.
Can I really help people? Comparing myself to other coaches and other therapists. Oh, well, they're doing this thing and I'm not doing it. And um, am I charging too much money and all of that? So I think figuring out how to go go for things, even if it's uncomfortable, and even if there's like a little voice in my head that's saying, I'm not sure you can do this. Is this really for you? Why don't you stay with your safe academic job? You'll be fine. You can get 20 days off a year annual leave and not have to worry about it, you know? Um, but I'm really glad that I kept going because now I really am seeing the rewards and I know that it's going to be fine. I feel like I'm the other side of that, like scary leap of faith.
Yeah,
Um,
I love
yeah.
that. Do you feel like there was something that shifted that for you, or do you feel like it was just like time or perseverance or just out of curiosity? And it may be an
I think
unknown.
it was like probably, I don't know really, experience, maybe. I think I am a bit all or nothing. So even if I am finding something really hard and my little mind is saying, don't do it, don't do it, I still push myself. So I think my grit and my I'm all in, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have to give this a chance. If I don't give this everything now, I know that I won't come back to it. So I think that helped me to just keep going. And then I started to see like small results. So I think the experience then of having those little wins helped me to stay on the right path.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
definitely, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think
Um,
the hardest part is like in the very beginning, especially if you're not seeing results yet, and it's like you just keep doing it and you're like, nothing's working.
I
But
know.
um it is never like it's always a journey and it's never, quick, I would say. Like it always takes time. But I think if you can wait it out long enough that you start getting the little wins and then you can be like, okay, yes, like this is working. I just need to keep doing
Yeah.
it. Um, but I think the other thing you mentioned about like the discomfort, and I think I always go back to like what you're going to be uncomfortable no matter what, whether you're working a job, whether you're starting a business, and it's just kind of like what kind of discomfort would you rather have? Is it like
Yeah.
going after a business that you want to create? Is it the discomfort of, knowing that you only have 20 days off during the year and they're, maybe set at certain times and, you have certain hours and all that stuff. So I think it's kind of like the trade-offs and you can ask yourself like, you know, maybe looking at your life and your vision and what you want, like
Mhm.
which uncomfortable would you rather have?
Exactly. Would you rather be uncomfortable and be your own boss or be uncomfortable working a job where someone's breathing down your neck, like watching over your shoulder?
Yeah.
Um, there is that, there is this quote, and I did put it on a post-it note on my computer screen, which was like, working a 9 till 5 is hard. Starting your own business is hard. Choose your hard. And I'm
Yep.
like, definitely the second one.
Yeah.
And then, like, things are still uncomfortable now, but the things I'm uncomfortable in now are different to the things I was uncomfortable at the beginning when I was starting with you. Like, when I was starting with you, I was uncomfortable about talking in front of the camera, put posting a photo of my face on Instagram. I'm not uncomfortable about that anymore in the
Yeah.
slightest. It's very, so I know there's progress, you know. So I
Really.
think, yeah. And
Yeah.
things have shifted, I think, in the last 12 months as well. It's not, it I'm, I have more just faith in a way. Like I'm not stressing when things aren't going right because I know they will. I just, it just feels right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. I think if you're really it makes a big difference if you're like really connected to what you're doing too and believe in it and are passionate about it. So I think sometimes it's a matter of, and sometimes that takes a while to find in your business too, like what really is the right fit as far as what you're doing and how you're doing it. But
Yeah.
I think that can make a difference too, because then you're like it feels right, right? You're like, and I really believe in this, like I really want to help people, and it has like a different energy behind it than maybe if you're like, something's just maybe not
Sure.
quite right yet.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But I think
I
the
d-
only way to find it is to like start doing things, right? Like we don't really find the clarity by just like sitting there thinking about it. You usually find it through experience and by doing the things. And then you're like, oh, well, what about this? Or, I like doing this, or I'm more interested in learning more about that. But it's hard to, a lot of times we sit there and we're like, we don't want to do anything until we get more clarity or feel more comfortable. But the way you get that, I feel like, is by actually like
just,
doing the stuff.
yeah, doing stuff. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You've got to just put yourself in there and just you figure it out as you go along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Speaking of like doing videos and putting yourself out there and doing pictures and stuff, like I know marketing is always a journey too. And has your marketing changed as you have gone? And is there stuff that you find that you enjoy most when it comes to like putting yourself out there and getting clients? And
Mhm. So I'm really I find social media really difficult because I'm really easily distracted. I have an addictive personality. Like, yes, I stopped drinking, but my addictive nature is still very much a part of me. And so social media is uh fine. It's necessary, and in some ways I really like it, of course, because it's a free tool and you can reach so many people. But I actually really like YouTube. So when I was working as a sobriety coach, I got into quite a good momentum of writing and recording YouTube content.
yeah.
And that ended up being probably my best source of clients.
Oh, awesome.
Um, and so those videos, even after I stopped marketing for a couple of years whilst I was focusing on my um, training because I just couldn't, I just couldn't do it. It was too much all at
Yeah.
once.
Yeah.
So, but the amazing thing about YouTube was that I continued to get client inquiries. I was posting nothing and I got maybe a couple of inquiries a month, and there was probably about 12 videos on YouTube, and they've had tens of thousands of views,
Oh,
which is
that's
just
amazing.
mad. But so that was great for that. But now I've only kind of recently started, say, in the last 12 months with the therapy marketing. So I think I'm going to focus on YouTube again, but I'm still kind of, I haven't quite built the momentum yet there, but I know that that's probably the route that I'll take because I had surprising success with it before. So, but I think it's a different way of marketing for therapy versus for coaching. So I'm just kind of getting my head around what those differences are and how that might look. But yeah, so yeah. So YouTube's definitely going to be a priority for me. But also I'm thinking of because I'd like to take a step back from social media, I'd like to spend a bit more time on my website and doing some blogs and looking at SEO and maybe having some like therapy worksheets or courses, like mini courses and things like that. So I'm gonna probably my longer term plan is to have what to focus on my website and YouTube, and then like Instagram as more of a kind of is a bit more on the back foot, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a great plan. And we'll have to share your YouTube channel. You can give it to me,
Oh,
I'll share.
yeah.
But I think that's awesome. And I've had the same thing with YouTube. Like I've taken a break from marketing right now because I'm actually doing some classes as well. And I still continue to get like 40, 50, 60 new subscribers every month, even though I'm not publishing anything at this very moment. So, like it's a pretty awesome tool because you don't have to keep, or platform, I should say, because you don't have to keep pumping out more and more content, which I think is nice. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Even for
So,
years after it seemed to. work for me. But yeah.
The only thing I want to say, though, just like a little, I don't know
Mm.
if what you have to do is any different, coaching versus therapy, as far as creating content, what
Okay.
you're putting out there. So maybe just see if you're overthinking that piece.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I might be overthinking it. I feel, yeah, okay. I'm gonna have a think about that.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't know
Um,
why it feels different or more like
I think
people
it's
are
very
more
similar
vulnerable
because,
or something, but maybe
yeah,
not.
because I've worked with coaches and therapists, and it's some therapists work more like coaches, some coaches work more like therapists. Like it's very,
Oh.
of course, there's lines between maybe what a therapist can do and a coach, can do. But I think as far as creating content, it probably doesn't have to be very different.
Oh, that's helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. I'd say obviously what you're doing is working, so keep doing that.
Yeah.
The topic may be a little different, but although I think, some of those topics are very relevant as far as I do think like addiction is probably very relevant to people who are highly sensitive. Being a highly sensitive person myself, but
Yeah.
just because, yeah, a way to kind of deal with that overwhelm or the yeah, kind of the feelings.
Yeah. Or feeling different. And, like I don't know about you, but like when I was younger and I just felt different, like I wanted to fit in. And so for me, my way of feeling like I was belonging somewhere was drinking
Yep.
alcohol.
Yep. Yeah, like socially it can be very challenging. I feel like for sure it was for me as I like especially as I got into like middle school, high school, like those years. It
Yeah,
was yeah, and that's when alcohol comes in and obviously it's
I know.
I think yeah, when you start drinking it kind of gets rid of that sensitivity almost, right? Like it dulls it.
Yeah,
So then you're like, "Oh, I can just be normal." Right?
exactly. But then, unfortunately, some people have, uh, yeah, then some people then get addicted, others don't. And yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It's a big topic for sure. But
it-
yeah, good places to be supporting others because it's needed.
yeah,
Um,
100%.
yeah. Any big ways like you feel like you personally have changed or shifted just through the process of like building your business?
Mhm. Yeah,
I know we've kind of touched on a few, but if you have anything else that just really pops up you want to share, let's.
yeah. I think I have changed as so even the process of like becoming a voice of authority online or trying to in the beginning, like that process, I think really feeds into, for me at least, has fed into my own self-confidence. And I do feel like I have a lot to share and that I am like, say, a voice of authority. That's like maybe the wrong term, but you know what I mean. Like,
Voice of wisdom, maybe.
yeah, voice of wisdom. Um, so yeah, my confidence has definitely increased
Yeah.
as a result of doing it, and also as a result of alongside my business, I've also been training and doing more qualifications, and I've been gaining experience as a coach and as a therapist, and it all connects, it all is in alignment and growing as a person, growing as a partner, as a friend. So I think it's all connected. So I think things have definitely shifted in many ways, and building my business is definitely a core part of that and one of the many factors that have influenced the person that I am now, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. Did you see any other changes like in your life or in people around you as you went down this path? And yeah,
Hmm.
just curious about that. I'm always curious about it, but
Um, Definitely, I now have more financial freedom. I
awesome.
feel like I have more freedom in general. Like I love working for myself. I'm happier. My quality of life is better. I can organize my day in a way that suits me. I've recently bought a house. I've moved to a location in England that doesn't have to be near a university. So I've had freedom in that sense. Like I can choose where I want to live.
Yeah.
Um, and so I, yeah, and those things are definitely connected to becoming self-employed and setting up my own business and doing things my way.
Yeah. 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 I love
Yeah.
that. Um, Anyone who's like maybe a little further back on their journey of starting their business or building their business, do you have any words of wisdom that you haven't already shared that you maybe want to share?
Um, Probably the thing that I already mentioned, which is try not to get in your own way.
Yeah.
And also just be wary of comparing yourself to others. Like your journey is your own journey. Everyone's journey is different, and it's so easy to feel like you're not doing enough or you're not doing it right.
Yeah.
But know that the right things are happening and it takes time, and you just need to have patience and to trust yourself, really.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And that's where I think also social media becomes really tricky because it's very hard to get on social media without seeing what everyone else is doing, right?
Mm.
It's like, you
I
can try
know.
to unfollow people and, be very, careful about all those pieces, but it's just the nature of the platform, right? So,
Yeah, you have to just learn to live with it somehow.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, you can set, like I was just telling you before, I have a 5 minute limit on my phone for social media. So it's like 5 minutes goes up and it's like, oh, you've used all your time.
Got to get off. And
Yeah.
I do like one thing I do now, which I wasn't doing before, was that I have certain times in the week where these times in the week are dedicated for social media marketing, whereas before I was kind of just like walking down the street and being like, oh, maybe I should put this on Instagram, or like everything I was doing, I was like, should this go on Instagram? I was constantly thinking about what should be content, whereas now it's structured and I make sure that I stick to that structure. So that's just changed everything. I've got so much more headspace.
Yeah,
So I think
that's
it's important.
yeah. Yeah, that's really important. I got into that too, where it was like I'd be on vacation, I'm like taking pictures or doing videos, and I'm like, ooh, this would make a great like Instagram,
Yeah.
like, and I'm like, I don't want to be like living my life like thinking about like how I'm going to use this for marketing or something. Like it becomes a real distraction, I would say, from being in the moment, right? So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Um, so tell us where can people find you? Where can they see what you're up to? I'll share whatever links what you tell to, but yeah, what's the best place to
Um,
see what you're up to?
yeah, so on Instagram, my handle is the mindful psychotherapist, the dot mindful dot psychotherapist. I am on YouTube as well. I've got a website, hayleytrower.com. Um, Facebook as well. You can look me up, Hayley Trower or Dr. Hayley Trower. Yeah, so at the moment I'm on those platforms.
I'll get links from you and share them so people can
Yeah,
find you. Yeah, well, thank you so much for sharing all that. I think it's very helpful and just inspiring. So I
you're
appreciate
very
it.
welcome. Happy to share.